Good morning. My name is Musa Konneh, founder of SusuKonnect. So what SusuKonnect is, it's a fintech app where a group of people basically come together. For example, let's just say all of us here in the room, we come together, we agree to a certain amount that we put together to the side, and then every month each one of us gets that payout, whatever it is, 5,000, 10,000. This is a tradition that's been within the African community, Latino, even Asian as well. That's been going on for hundreds of years, where they do this to, get funding for starting a business, buying a home, getting married and stuff like that. Because certain people, they're not qualified for traditional loans through banks, so they do this to just practically save. I myself have been part of multiple Susu group where I was able to save a certain amount of money to be able to buy a house and stuff like that. So we're just trying to build a platform where individuals could just come together and do it and step away from the traditional way, because right now where it's done is through like cash transaction and some of that lacks transparency and stuff. So the problem is 1.7 billion of adults are unbanked globally. And like I mentioned, the traditional Susu system lacks transparency and security. There's no credit history building, which we want to change with that with SusuKonnect. And there's limited cross-border capital access. So what we're offering as a solution is a digital trust for group savings, transparent and secure ledger system, building credit scoring and verification, and a multi-currency and cross-border that enables. Our vision is to empower underserved and diaspora communities through digital financial inclusion and collective wealth building. And our long-term goal and mission is to connect tradition and technologies that makes group savings, lending, and investment accessible, transparent, and rewarding for everybody. So it's initially what we want to do later on in the future. What I also realized with, sometimes when individuals get their payouts, whether it's $5,000, $10,000, sometimes they don't initially know what to do with it. So we want to partner with individuals or companies that could come into our platform to market their products or services, whether it's like real estate, stock market, brokerage or whatever, or even banks as well, where they can open up the saving and put their money in there. The market opportunity is there is about 350 billion global within the fintech market. There's an 18 to 20% annual growth rate. And then most importantly, there's about 400 million plus mobile money active users in Africa alone, which is going to be key for our market because that's where majority of the people that we want to target is basically going to come from. And like I mentioned, there's about 1.7 billion unbanked adults worldwide. Our target market is the US, UK, EU, Europe, the diasporas within those, West Africa as well, and the Caribbeans. We also want to target like NGOs and organizations as well, and just young entrepreneurs, gig workers that are seeking like interest-free capitals. Our competitive advantage that makes us stand out, we have a cross-regional multi-currency, so we just don't want to stick to the USD. Like I mentioned, we plan on branching out to Europe, so we want to do the euros, British pounds as well, and also in Africa. We have an advanced KYC, AML integration for regulatory compliance, a community and diaspora network-driven growth, and a built-in trust metrics and a credit scoring system. SusuKonnect combines cultural authenticity with enterprise-grade fintech infrastructure, bridging technology, and tradition for global communities. So how SusuKonnect typically is going to work within our core platform features is you can either come in, create a group. For example, there's always going to be a group organizer. So they're going to be responsible in terms of collecting the contributions, and then every month they're going to be responsible for handing out their contributions to each individual. They have the options to choose who goes first, who goes last, and then within our platform, what we want to build in is once you're signing up, you can decide to say, listen, I want to go first because I want to buy a house. It gives you that option. Or you can say, what, I'll go last. I'm really not in a rush to get my payout and whatnot. Transparent ledger. What I also realized, the traditional Susu that is happening right now, it just lacks transparency. There's not really much of a way where you can track whose contributions, payouts, and even though you do that, sometimes it's through you're writing in a book or writing in your notes, and sometimes we can lose that. Your phone can get lost, you can lose your ledger or your book. So with SusuKonnect, we want to be able to build in that real-time contribution tracking system as well. We want to do auto payments through PayPal, mobile wallets, also bank transfers as well. Because like I mentioned, right now it's just strictly sometimes cash transactions where people sometimes would have to physically go to the organizer, or the organizer will have to go to each individual in terms of collecting that contribution. And sometimes it can be draining. So we want to be able to eliminate that, where it can be easy for people to be able to do their contribution and also receive their payouts. Our revenue model for this is we want to do a transaction fee, typically 1.5% of each group contribution. Affiliate revenues, partnership with maintenance and credit firms, advertising as well. Also want to do premium memberships within the app where you can get more in terms of the free version, data insights as well, and enterprise license. And over here, we have a 5-year financial projection. Within the first of year one, but typically year one, we projected about a $90,000 profit within year one. Year two, I believe it was about $300K. Year three, $750. Year four, $1.5 million, and then year five, $2.8. And then our go-to-market strategy that we plan on having for SusuKonnect is community ambassadors, referral programs, social media campaigns, and our partnerships with NGOs, organizations, banks, and whatnot. And right here, this is our 5-year phase expansion, year one. What we're planning right now is to get the MVP of the app out, to start right here within the US and Europe, within the diaspora communities. Year two, definitely want to branch off which I feel is going to be our biggest market, which is Africa. And then year three, Caribbean expansion and partnership with NGOs, organizations, bank and stuff. And then year four, we want to be able to build in a credit scoring system, where eventually we want this to be reported to the credit bureau system, so people can eventually have some sort of verification if they do decide to go the traditional route, try to get loans and stuff like that. And then year five, enterprise and government licensing. And then leadership, like I said, with myself, I have five years of experience within technology and the Susu as well. Like I said, I've been part of the Susu myself, and I've seen, people with my community be able to start businesses, buy houses, and just help each other out through this traditional way. My father done it, his father done it. This is a tradition that goes, way back to hundreds of years ago. So it's not something that we're going to start new. It's just that we're just trying to digitize it and make it more efficient than what it is right now. So join us in building a global platform for collective wealth creation.